Hello and welcome to Pineapple Sands. So I picked a few new anime to watch from this current season, and as usual, I will give them the 3 episode rule and decide whether I am going to continue to watch them or to stop. The shows that I have not started to watch this season will hopefully be addressed in the future when I eventually binge them. First up, we have The Dawn of the Witch. Honestly, I have no idea what's even happening in this anime. What even is the plot? What are the names of the characters? This anime is just terrible. The show is just boring. And what I can tell you in regards to the plot of the show is that the characters are mages and they are on a journey. But I can't tell you why they are doing it or where they are going. Let us take a look at the MC. Why is he even showing us his shoulders? Did we ask for this? Is this even a kink for some people? And if it is, then good for you. I just don't understand it and I just found it a bit weird. He also has no character to speak of and is very bland, like a loaf of white bread. The typical bland bitch protagonist. Then there is the teacher, who is a 300-year-old lolly. I just hate these kinds of anime tropes. Here is a character that looks like a child, but in this show, she is 300 years old, so it is okay to show or to over-sexualize the character, because the teacher wears a dress that is both long and short. I have no idea who the fashion designer is for this outfit, but they need to be flicked in the forehead. They designed the dress specifically so that they can show some panty shots of this 300-year-old lolly. The rest of the characters are just irritating and awful, so I won't even go into them. After sitting through 3 episodes of The Dawn of the Witch, I will drop the show and immediately will never watch it again. Next we have an anime that is quite a mouthful to pronounce. Trapped in a dating sim, the world of Otome games is tough for a mob. The first thing you notice when you watch this anime is that everything looks so shiny. It's really be the most shiny anime that I have ever seen. And the animation of the show really stands out for how bad it actually is. For some reason, there can only ever be one animation in a scene at any given time. For example, the characters cannot talk and blink at the same time, or when one character's lips move. The rest of the scene is static, like a picture. It is really off-putting. I also have a huge issue with the story of this anime. At the start, we are hearing that the world is ruled by women, and they are the ones that control everything in these lands. But for some reason, they live in a kingdom and not a queendom, and that there is a king in charge and a crown prince. And how can you have a world ruled by a woman, but the king is in charge of everything? Why would the woman allow this male to rule the country? I actually haven't even mentioned that this anime is an isekai. We have the MC being transported to the world of a game that he actually hated, as his sister made him play this game. So he goes about plundering all the best things in the game that were actually meant for the MC. Then there are also the 5 capture targets in this game, and all of them fall for a woman that has also appeared to be isekai'd into this world, but she looks actually like a child when compared to the others. Why would the prince and all these guys fall for this child and decide to share her when the prince's fiance is right there? She and the original MC from the game is way more better looking than the child that they are going after. So after sitting through 3 whole episodes of the show, I have decided that even though they are mixed, that will not be enough, and I will drop this anime and probably never watch it again. I'm Quitting Heroing is an anime that has a great premise, but ends up falling a bit short within the first 3 episodes of the show. So the premise is that humans needed heroes to defeat the demon army that is attacking them. But there is one hero that was so strong that he was able to defeat the demon army all by himself. But once he returned victorious, he was shunned by humanity as they were all afraid of his inhumane powers. So what he ends up doing is that he goes to work for the demon army that is in the process of rebuilding itself after their defeat by this hero. And this is a new and interesting premise, but the first 3 episodes feel like those fetch quests in RPGs. It is slow and has to help the first demon general and then the next demon general. It feels like it will go down the list of helping the 4 demon generals first, then help the demon lord. And why do we need a child to be a demon general? I admit, I'll be dropping this show as it has become a bit boring after a while. Even though Skeleton in Another World starts off every episode with a content warning, none of the latest scenes in the anime comes even close to the graphic nature of the opening scene of the show. I suspect that they will keep this warning for future episodes, as this world is brutal and somewhat primitive. The MC, named Ark, is a skeleton that is inside the armor of a holy knight. He has been reincarnated into this world, but he has no recollection of anything that happened to him in this prior life. Ark is extremely powerful, and all he wants to do is geek out in this fancy world and keep a somewhat low profile. But is not too good at it, as he always kind of stands out. This is an extremely enjoyable show, and is truly well paced and does not feel rushed like many other isekai. There appears to be an overarching story that is currently being dub-fed to us, but so far the anime is mostly focused on our skeleton knight and his adventures, and we learn about the whole world together with him. Now I'm just wondering, when will he show his skeleton face to the sexy elf that seems to be his companion? I will definitely continue to watch A Skeleton Knight in Another World for the rest of the spring season. A sequel this season is the second season of The Rising of the Shield Hero, and I must admit that I have actually read the light novel, and this was the arc where I actually dropped it. I never liked this arc then, and I don't like this arc now in the anime as well, even though I wasn't expecting much from the start. Everything felt a tad bit rushed, but I didn't really have that big of an issue with it. The biggest issue I have with the anime this season is that it was so long ago that I forgot the names of some people. I forgot that there was a green-haired girl in Naofumi's party, and I still don't even know her name, as I only know Raftalia and Philo. Then the anime continues to introduce more people, and I'm just unable to keep up with the fast pace that these new people are being introduced at. As much as things change in the Rising of the Shield Hero, the more things stay the same, as the world still has these other heroes, and they are still absolutely trash and totally useless, as they appear in the show just to immediately make the incorrect choice. But as we all know, that these other heroes in the show are just there to make Naofumi look better, as he is not that great of a person himself. I have decided to drop The Rising of the Shield Hero Season 2, just like I did with the light novel. And finally, we have arrived at the anime of the season, Spy Family. This anime gives us both the best girl as well as the best waifu of the season in Anya and Your Forger. Anya is cute and adorable and really needs to be protected, as she deserves happiness and a family, whereas Yor is a total badass, and sexy as hell. But even though these two are great, Lloyd Forger, the MC, is also totally amazing and cool. So let us get to the plot of the show, as this is also incredible. The world is currently in a Cold War state between nations, and Lloyd Forger, aka Twilight, is a spy who is ordered to infiltrate the school with his pretend family to get close to an important individual. He gets Anya from an orphanage, and unbeknownst to him, she is a telepath and can read the minds of the people around her. Then he gets a wife, who is an assassin named the Thorn Princess. The most fun situations in Spy Family is when the three characters interact with each other and they all hide their powers and figuratively wears a mask. Everyone should definitely check out Spy Family, as it's an absolute joy to watch, and I will continue to watch it for the entire season, as well as when the second core releases later this year. Thank you all for watching this video, and you all know the whole deal about subscribing and liking and commenting, so please do that, and I will see you again in the next one. Cheers!